afternoon, well, good morning still. This is Tony from our Alabama Homestead. Perhaps you recognize the surroundings. Yes, we're back. We couldn't resist. Although Mark was saying, no, we're not going back till October because he wanted to spend a good chunk of time, like without a break in it. And definitely we want to be here in the cold. But we were both hankering to get back down here. So he agreed and we took a trip down. Arrived last night, and yes, it is hot. And I've got my cool summer dresses. You know, got a bunch of linen dresses that I brought with me, and they're one of the best things to wear in this kind of heat. And yes, we have heat in Ontario, so I know what heat is. Southern Ontario. Northern Ontario is probably fairly cool and comfortable. But we're pretty much at the southern tip. And we do get heat and humidity. Very similar to this. Not as strong, not as long. We get breaks in between, and summer flies by fairly quickly. But we're here, and I did the walk around. Well, one of the first things I did, let me show you. So some of you know I've become the crazy fig lady, and here I planted 3 large pots. I figured with the size of the pots, they should not dry out. Anything smaller probably would dry out in this heat. And we did get a fair amount of rain. But I watered these this morning, and the rain runs right through. Mark did drill holes. I thought perhaps he hadn't drilled enough, but sure enough, there's plenty of holes. So the water does run through. Now, I spent a good amount of time cleaning all the weeds out, and I do have a fig tree here, and I have another one growing on one of the thicker stems. Finally, that's what I was hoping for. This one has done nothing, and so I have 2 of them growing in there. I have 3 of them growing in here, so 1 there, 1 here, and this one, and I have a 4th one starting to bud, or trying to bud. So here once again, the heavier ones did not leaf out yet. I'm still hoping they will. So I have two heavy branches. This one looked like it was gonna bud out before I left, but it did not. But still, we have 1 plant here, a 2nd one here, and a 3rd one. So we have lots of fig trees. As I said, I'm going to become the crazy fig lady. I know that. Now, this area here where you see a little bit of growth, and that's towards my, where the other stone bench is, and the pathway to the, all those beautiful azaleas runs through there. And I think I'm going to start a garden in this area. It's close to the house. And I was a little disappointed that Mark just wanted to toss all the soil that was on this concrete patio, just pushed it off to the side. And it's quite high there. But I did bring my rototiller down with me this time. So if I get to it while we're here, I will be cleaning all this out. And I will be smoothing it out, rototilling this area, and hopefully that will become my garden. I do like the fact that there is a walkway up to the, beyond the stone wall right here as well. So there are still a few more trees and things that I want Mark to take down if we have a chance to do it this time. If not, it'll be in the fall. But I'm finally planning where I want a garden. Now, it's true that this is where the deer were, and I may have to do something to keep them away. I don't know, but for now, maybe just be careful what you plant. I know that there are some things that they don't like lavender, so maybe do some lavender along that staircase that's there. We'll see what I can come up with to keep them away, and maybe nothing will. I don't know. I was under the impression that I had a pear tree, and I went to check on it today. And to my surprise, there was not 1 bit of fruit on it. And that is not one of those calorie pears, or what do they call them? Because I still have some of those, and they still have little tiny fruit on them. So, and this one was much bigger, and I did cut one open the last time we were here, and there were lots of fruit on that tree. But this time around, something decided that they liked them and took down every single one. So if they were pears, there's no pears for Tony, unless I buy them. But it is what it is. Maybe it's, I don't know. There isn't even any residue on the ground, so I can't say that they just fell on the ground and, you know, that the tree discarded them because they weren't any good. I suspect that squirrels and that were feasting on them. Oh yes, and my hazelnut is doing great. There are a few discarded nuts on the ground. And once again, I believe that those are where the tree feels that those ones are not viable. But there's a good amount of them on there, so I'm sure those won't be ready till the fall. So hopefully I'll be able to collect some of those. Now I know I have a black walnut for sure. And I walked back there and found the tree. And I thought, oh, there aren't very many, but I did find a few nuts, and hopefully there are more way up tall, because it's a big tree. And we'll see in the fall how many of those I manage to collect. So hazelnuts, black walnuts I've got, and my fig tree. Before I left, I had a few of the breba, I guess that's what they call them. This fig tree produces figs twice, once early in the season and once later on. And just before I left, the first batch were starting to ripen. I think I managed to eat one or two. And I thought, okay, well, I've been away, 6 weeks now? Perhaps the second flush are starting to ripen. And what a surprise, they're not. They're still all small. And I don't know if it's that we've had too much rain, but they still look healthy enough. And I'm not finding any of the last bits of the first batch. So those have been eaten by the birds for sure. So yes, I'm going to have a fight on my hands to get some figs. I'm hoping that when we come back in the fall, there'll be some left for me. And if there aren't, maybe perhaps another year, I'll be here in time to harvest them. That would be nice, because I would definitely dry them and perhaps make jam. Bay tree that I planted is doing good. I took a cutting right off the top. Well, actually not a cutting. There was some, I don't know, webbing or something on one of the stems at the top. So I cut that off before it became a problem. But the rest of it looks healthy. Growing from the bottom as well, which I don't mind. I don't care if it grows into a bush. Just trying to make sure it's healthy. Nothing underneath. That's usually where you see all the problems, is on the underneath of the leaves. Looking good. So yes, I did a fair bit of work. We decided to get up very early this morning and mow the lawn. I decided that I wanted to do that bright and early before it got too hot, but it was hot anyway. So I did get most of the back done. It's okay. Like, there's definitely some more areas that could use a heavier lawnmower than what I've got. But for now, it's pretty cleaned up. And then I got to the front, and I did about half of that before I decided that I'd had enough for the day. It is getting too hot to be mowing the lawn, so I'll be doing the balance of that first thing in the morning. But yes, we're absolutely thrilled to be here. The noise you hear in the background is an air conditioner. We do have an air conditioner, so we will survive the heat inside the house. It is only one, and it is mainly for the living room, but it's a pretty strong one, and it still works even though it's very old. So we're quite happy with that. And what else? What we don't have is heat. So we did stop on the way down to talk to somebody regarding a wood stove. We found one dealer, but he's too far up north and is not willing to deliver down here. And we do have certain criteria that we're looking for as well. So Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He did recommend somebody a little closer to us, and perhaps we will do some research with this fellow before we leave on this trip as well. So, yeah, it's lots to do, and we've decided that definitely we are going to put in gutters. That'll be in the fall. This is just a quick trip. This is just because we couldn't stand to be away, and we're enjoying being here. We don't mind the heat. It's all good. Okay, I've come inside now. I'm sitting in front of my beautiful fireplace. And yes, we are looking at getting a wood stove to sit in front of this fireplace. The room isn't very large, so it should be adequate to heat the house. And we feel that just using the fireplace for heat probably won't provide enough heat, so we are looking at a wood stove. And of course, we've got more than enough wood out the back, should we have the time and energy to cut some of it ourselves. If not, we can get the first load delivered and see what happens after that. So anyway, the other thing that I'm going to do right now, as soon as Mark is ready, because we've both been working around the house, and I had already showered. I'd given up and, doing some physical work outside. You do that early in the day, and I had given up on that, but he was still up near the well house doing his thing. And I had brought extra things for the kitchen, and I'm finding that I'm really stressed out trying to utilize the one little shelf that I have to house everything. So I said, no, we're going to the hardware store. We are going to buy another shelf, and we're going to put it up in the dining area, and perhaps that will become my pantry. We don't necessarily use dining rooms to eat anymore anyway. Normally, Mark and I sit on the couch, on the coffee table, and eat there. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Right now, we can just get another steel shelf, a larger one. I've just got the little one from IKEA that, it's a little 3-shelf. And I took one of them from my other one that I have at home. Like I had bought about 5 of those, I think. And I took one other shelf from one that I set up to put plants on. So that one's only got 2 shelves, and this one I brought an extra one here. So I had 4 shelves. But even with the 4 shelves, it's only a little narrow unit, so it doesn't hold too much. So yes, I'm just a little bit tired of trying to, and yeah, I won't use the kitchen. I just won't use the kitchen cupboard. So putting up shelves and putting things in bins, I'm happy with for now. And it's going to be a long time before we get the kitchen done. I mean, there's the heating that has to be taken care of. The gutters have to be taken care of pretty much. This is all for the fall. And we have a little deck that is rotted out that needs to be replaced at the front of the house. And yeah, so those are the most important things. And there's some structural work to make sure that water doesn't get in the house after we do the eaves trough. There is some work that has to be done on the house where water has been getting in. So once those are done, then we can start to look at what we're going to do inside. And yeah, the whole place has to be renovated. And I suppose one of the first things is just to get a bedroom done. Now, we do have a wash machine. We have a hot water tank, which is awesome, because I understand you have to buy them here. In Canada, you can buy them, but very few people do. It's just added as a monthly cost to your water charge. And if anything goes wrong with it, they just come in and replace it. And you don't have to worry about it. But here, I understand you have to buy one, so we have a good one here, thank goodness. So the only things that we've replaced so far, appliances, are the fridge and stove. They had to go. And we do have a microwave, which has to be removed. But it's still hanging there until we take those kitchen cupboards down. The dryer does not work. Mark figures it's a heating element and he wants to repair it. I've been hanging wet clothes up on hangers to dry and he doesn't like the idea. I've been saying that I need a clothesline strung. He doesn't like that either. So you want to fix that dryer? I'll be hanging them wet clothes on a clothesline or on a hanger until you get that dryer done. I don't care. It's up to you. So we're good. So today we are out and about looking at more shelving, and then I will rearrange and I'll be happier. Because trying to find, and storing things one on top of the other and behind other things, and everything is just too cluttered, you can't find anything. I have to rectify that situation or I'll go mad. Anyway, this is Tony from our Alabama Homestead. I hope to be posting a lot while I'm here. We'll see what happens. Talk to you soon.